Hi, this is Cynthia Ortiz. It is the 4th of January, 2022, and now it's PM, 7 o'clock PM. And okay, so I just heard I got to address this thing with Monica. So I said, is she dead? And then kind of laughed. I laughed because it's the most ridiculous fucking thing, Mr. Perry. I mean, with this, we got to frame her for a murder thing. He's done that forever. That's not new. I laughed because it's stupid. I'm thinking Monica's probably fine is why I laughed. Like, what in the hell am I even having to have this conversation for or address this a false accusation? It's been one after another. I've had to address false accusations of prostitution. I didn't do prostitution, Mr. Perry. Don't slander me fucking ever again. We're all pissed. We're pissed. I don't like you. Get over it like a man and move on. The slander is fucking ridiculous. You've overdone it. Your hole is so deep. We're like laughing at you way down in there. I mean, this is ridiculous. So I said, I'm talking about Mr. Perry's attempt to frame me for murder. He's been trying that since 2017. Mr. Wishcamper and Ted Hogan have like a bazillion emails going back to 2017. It started with Caitlin Arquette's murder. I didn't know her. I didn't hang out with her. I never met her before in my life. Didn't even know she was dead until I met her mom at a Southwest Writers Conference. She'd had a book signing, or she brought books in, and she was signing them. She signed something for me. After that, we became Facebook friends. We talked. She was from Albuquerque, so was I. When I met her at the Southwest Writers Conference, I felt bad because her daughter had been murdered. They hired a private investigator. She wrote a book called Who Killed My Daughter. I'm not in it. I didn't kill her. Never held a gun in my life. Never have I held a gun in my life. That's why you sent Mickey James in, Mr. Perry, to get him taking me shooting. So now you got my fingerprints on whatever gun he was gonna have me do that. And I was like, no, I first of all, I know you're in here for them. Second of all, that's just not my thing. I've never held a weapon, never discharged a firearm. I don't know a fucking thing about guns. If I'm in a bank and I'm with a cop, the cop is killed, and I got to get his gun to save me and everybody else in there. I don't know how to take the damn safety off. Stop with this, sir. The only person I had a problem with at work was Monica, and I didn't have a problem with her. She had a problem with me. She flipped me off on the pole. I didn't flip her off. I chalked it up to immaturity. Listen, I'm dancing with girls that are in their 20s. I'm 50. We got nothing in common. Do you know any 20-year-olds that want to go socialize with a 50-year-old? It's weird. I didn't do it. They didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. They did their thing. I did mine. We interacted at work fine. We all got along fine. The only person I ever had a beef with was Monica. That's it. I had a beef with Malaya while she was on drugs. Once she got off drugs, we got along fine. We got along fine. Chances are very high if there was somebody at work that didn't like me, I'd like them just fine. They don't like me, that's their choice. But in order for me to be angry enough to kill somebody, I would have to not like them. Kind of like I don't like you. But the murder frame up is bullshit. Cut it out. It's on the docket in our court that you've been recorded and recorded and recorded and recorded and recorded talking about trying to frame me for a murder. I heard you in the recording tell Fabian in 2016 or 17, I'm going to find a way to put her back in jail. She's not going to get out this time unless she's with me. You need to give up. Fuck you. I don't like you. You are butting in. You are out of line. I'm not going to be anything to you. I moved twice, sir, to get away from you. You're hideous. You're a monster. You're under investigation for sexual exploitation of women and children, child pornography. You put hidden cameras in women's homes. You did it to me. You broadcast us on the dark web. You're raking money in using our bodies without our consent and without payment, and you don't have the right to do that. It is a very serious crime. You're in a lot of trouble. So when I quote you, and how do I know that you're trying to frame me for a murder? That Richard was out at the club telling Paul and Patrick, I guess, I need her shoe. When is she coming back in here? How do I know to get that? unless you're recorded talking about it. And so I know now to address it before you do it. Same as the McNamara email, Mr. Perry. You're still trying to do the McNamara email. So I'm addressing what I said in this podcast here when I said, is Monica dead? And I kind of laughed. I wasn't laughing because I think Monica's dead. I don't think she is. That's what I was laughing about. How stupid you guys are. How ridiculous you fucking are with this. You killed somebody. You do the illegal stuff. You accuse other people of doing what you did. And what did Michael say when he's sitting in the interview with the Scambia PD? He didn't say, I've been beat up. I can't remember what happened. I was knocked out in a fight, but I've got injuries on me. What happened? Where's Lucky? Is he okay? He didn't say that, did he? What did he say? Who's dead? I don't have anything on me. I can't believe you. Who's dead? I don't look like I was in a fight. And then I said, he was drugged. And I said it before anyone else said it. It wasn't on the docket yet. It wasn't public. And not one guy, not Gene Mitchell and not Travis Myers, asked me, how did you know that? And I was waiting. I didn't say how I knew. It's called sting-opping. I'm very, very good at it, Mr. Perry. I'm very fucking good at it. I've been out thinking you, sir, in my sleep for a decade. I'm part of a machine trying to stop your crime, relieve suffering caused by crime, and you cause a lot of suffering. Get the fuck out of my home. You're going to pay me $1,000 a day for putting cameras in my home and broadcasting me on the internet and watching me and getting entertained. And you cause a problem for me and you get me all upset and then you go jack off. That's what our witness said. As long as I've known Charles Perry, he's a sex sadist. He puts cameras in women's homes, and he broadcasts them on the dark web, and he rakes it in while he starves them. He causes them to lose their job. Then they lose their house. Then he has the ex take the kids away. He hacks them so they can't find another job. You solicited him for money. You wanted the man to get money and put it into your business, and he was like freaking out about it. He goes, I'm glad somebody's finally putting a stop to this because I'm sick of sleeping with one eye opened. You're caught, sir. I laughed when I said, is Monica dead? Because she's not dead. I'm sure she's probably fine. I haven't even been out there for like a year. I went about 3 times. I saw her once. We didn't even talk. Didn't talk at all. She's the only person I have a beef with. And Malaya I had a beef with before, but she was on drugs. That chick doesn't even probably remember what the fuck she said to me. I didn't have a beef with her. She had one with me. Once she got off drugs, she's fine. She's actually a pretty cool person. I don't have a beef with her. I don't have a beef with anybody. I went in, I did my job, and I went home. I interacted with everybody, very friendly, very nice. And then I went home. I'm 50, they're 20. We don't hang out. We don't have anything in common. They're not going to hang out with somebody their mom's age. So I don't interact with people since you fucked with me so bad that I don't trust anybody more than about 10 minutes. The guy that said that, I don't know how Perry thinks he's going to make this lie work because she doesn't trust anybody and she won't interact with anybody for more than about 10, 15 minutes. And he's not wrong. That was a correct observation. That's what you guys do. You gaslight me, use everybody around me to gaslight me and tell me what you want me to think. And I'm like, oh my God, you got to be shitting me with this. And it doesn't work on me. You know what it does? It pisses me the fuck off. And it gives me more fuel for our case. Dumbass. And then when you want to know something like who's helping you, you have no idea and you have no way to get the information. Because I don't trust anybody and I won't talk to anybody for more than about 10, 15 minutes. So, you caused me a problem financially out at the club. You ran off my customers. You sent in your 3 guys with their canned food. And my guy said, we're pulling you out now. It was worth it when you were getting evidence like text from Mickey James and from Terry Wagner and a Pinto recording and Dave Robertson's, text. Yeah, we're giving you arsenic. Let your life fade away. Oh, my God. I'm going to sexually assault you. And when you ask me to stop, I'm not going to. Stop grabbing my crotch. You know, that is illegal. And I wouldn't let anybody do that. If they did, I got really upset. I had one guy come in from Dallas, Texas, and he bought 1 hour VIP. They cost $400. The man wouldn't keep his hand out of my crotch. You know what he got? 15 minutes of a VIP. I cut it short. Get the fuck out of here. If you can't keep your hands in the right place, do not touch me in that place. It's illegal and I don't like it. That's how I handle that shit. There are laws. There are still rules, even in a strip club. It's not a brothel. You go around telling people I'm a prostitute, and you know good and well that's not true. I wouldn't do the extras. You try to, Pinto offers me $5,000 to sleep with you, and I was like, fuck that. No way. You tell those guys in Manford she's a prostitute. So Lucky comes around asking everybody, is she? They told me about it. Laura and the owner of Lakeshore told me. Lucky was over here asking if you're a prostitute, and we were like, no, there's no men coming in and out of her room. You know what? You had people taking pictures. You'd have had a picture of it. You're always looking for something. If I did prostitution, you'd have pictures of it. And you spread rumors that I'm helping Mike because he and I had an affair. Again, I met the guy one time. We talked for half an hour when I filed my police report. Had you not done the vandalism, you wouldn't have done the murder. Had you not done the murder, you wouldn't be coming at me right now. Witness tampering, coercion. That's what people do when they act guilty. I said you had 3 options. 1, be dismissed when I made accusations that maybe you did that murder and framed Mike. I want Michael Neely out of jail. Listen to the words I'm saying. You committed fraud in a court. You perpetrated a fraud in a court. And I know that because of my sting op of Gene Mitchell and Travis Myers. You're corrupt. You're about to go to prison, Mr. Perry. You and all your little minions, your little whole crew. And this has never happened to you before. I'm not going to tell you again. You get him out and you get the fuck out of my life. You don't have a choice. You are going to pay me $1,000 a day for using my body for your entertainment, sir. And you're going to pay me $2,000 a day on top of that for doing it without my consent. You don't have a choice. We'll do it in court. Whichever, there's about 4 different ways we can do that. I don't want you anywhere near me, you skank. We've got more evidence against you than has ever been gotten before. You're making it easy. When you contact me, you piss us all off. My guys go at you. How do I know that everybody's starting to go, why was she laughing? That she said, is Monica dead? And then she laughed. I laughed because it's not ridiculous. I don't think Monica's dead. But my question is the same as Mike's. Who's dead? Who are you trying to frame me for? If it's not Caitlyn, because we got around that, you're taking my cigarettes from Lady Godiva's now. I didn't smoke back then. I got incidentals on my hands now. I didn't have 30 years ago. So you can't plant my... You met me in 2010. You get my fingerprints at the earliest time you met me in 2010. They're still not going to match up to what they were back then. I got marks on them now that I didn't have then. Burns, cuts, on and on and on. Richard's recorded going to the club. I need her shoes. I need her shoe prints. I need to see how tall she is with these shoes on. My shoes, millions of people have my shoes, Richard. And they weren't too happy about you doing that either, were they? Can't you get those from her house? I heard the whole conversation because you guys were recorded. You're recorded all the time. There's a lot of ways you can do that. You heard of a drone. You heard of, somebody sitting in a parking lot with there's a shit ton of ways that could be done. Wiretap orders out the wazoo. Sealed. Mr. Perry, when you contact me, you piss me off. When you peep and hack and poke and bother and cause problems and drama and hardship for me, we get more and more and more because I hate it. And my guys go at you, ape shit all over you. When you tore up my credit card, if she's not going to mind, I'm going to tear up her credit card. Yep, you pissed everybody off. When you cost me any law, I lose 1 penny. Mr. Robertson, you caused a delay in my loan money. So now, not only do I got to pay loan money back, but that cost me a couple of days in fines in the late renewal of my registration. You wanted Manford Police to pull me over because you want us to fight with each other. Golly. And you're caught. It didn't work out. You hacked my phone. You cost me money on Uber Eats because the app kept crashing. So it took me longer. I didn't make as much money as I would have had you not done that. I couldn't afford to go out there. And whatever you did for weeks didn't work out, did it? Same thing with my club. You take the money out of the club, my guys are like, you're not getting, if you're not getting evidence, if it's risky every time you go in there, they're going to do something to you. So when you go in there, you need to come out with evidence and money. And if you can't come out with that, you don't need to be in there. So you took my money. You send your fucking canned food in there. A guy's walking up throwing $1 on the stage. I'll get my one little $15, $25 lap dance. It's not worth it for me to go out there anymore. And I didn't socialize with those girls in order to get mad enough to want to kill one of them. And the thing with Caitlin Arquette didn't work out because I didn't smoke back then. So you collect all my cigarettes from work. And by the way, that's on the docket in the stay case. When I'm texting the waitress, Perry has his people coming in and get my cigarette butts out of the ashtray. Don't dump the ashtray. Let them do it. Let's see what they're going to do. I didn't smoke back then. And when I started smoking, I was 21, and I didn't smoke what I smoke now. Not the same brand. Gum that I chew now, they didn't even make it back then. You take in my clothes that I have now, weren't made back then. There's ways to test all that, Mr. Perry. You're a genius, you know that? So then they what? They decided to pick somebody that I work with who's dead. I don't even know. I'm guessing it's not Monica. Monica didn't like me. I liked her just fine. I chalked up her behavior as just some immaturity. I didn't dignify it with a response. It took care of itself. I already described what happened. She gets on. I didn't go on stage and flip her off. She got on stage and flipped me off. And guess what? It cost her a lap dance and some tip money. Problem resolved, is it not? I'm not 12. I'm 50. I don't behave like you. If somebody doesn't like me, I don't care. I don't give a shit. I'm very comfortable in my own skin. I go in, I do my job, and I leave. I didn't socialize with girls that are 20. They don't want me there. I can tell you I have a kid that's that age. Doesn't want to hang out with a 50-year-old. We got nothing in common. Nothing. We might have one thing here and there, but nothing that would justify us going out. We didn't go out and hang out at bars and all that stuff. We don't have, it's like, I don't know what else to tell you. That's not my thing. Nor was it theirs. We like each other just fine. We work together fine. But outside the club, I'm like their mom. They're not going to invite their mom to the bar. So they're not going to invite me to go anywhere with them, nor me, the other way around. I did my job. I was nice to everybody, and I left. There was no fights. The only fight was Monica with me. She fought with me. I didn't fight back. I don't care. I thought she was great on the pole, and I don't mind saying that now. I don't have anything against her at all. I feel like she was a little immature. That's it. So your bullshit story was funny. I laughed. I think Monica's probably fine. I don't know who the hell is dead. I don't know. Caitlin Arquette's murder, I didn't do it. Her mom and dad paid a bunch of money to have that investigated. And then with the findings of what they came up with, she wrote a book called Who Killed My Daughter, and another one, Went to the Wolves. I wasn't anywhere near there, didn't know her, had no idea that she was even gone until after the book was written and I met her mother. I was 19, 18, I didn't have a TV, and I didn't care about the news at that age. I didn't give a shit. I didn't go to school with her. I didn't hang out with her crowd. She was in with some bad drug people, very corrupt, and some corrupt politicians. And her mom and dad believed that that's who killed her. Her boyfriend, she was getting ready to break up. I had nothing to do with it. You've been recorded and recorded and recorded and recorded trying to frame me for murder because you told Fabian, I'm going to find a way to lock her up again and she's not going to get out this time unless she's with me. And he said, you're trying to force her into something she doesn't want to be in. And you are. Just like he said, you're a fucking rapist. You're a fucking sex pervert. You're a fucking rapist. And I have told you and told you and told you and told you, get the fuck out of my life. Because the more you bother me, the more you guys get caught. Do you like getting caught, Perry? Do you enjoy being told on? Because you've gotten in a decade, that's all you get. There's never a date. There will never be a date. You're a skank. You're low class. You're a criminal. That's it. You're going to prison. I don't care what anybody tells you. If Tulsa police tells you they're not going to put you in prison, that's their problem. When my guys do it, they'll have to explain why they didn't, won't they? That's their choice. They have to explain why the fuck they gave you my police report. I left it between God and the whoever gave it to you. Should never have happened. That's supposed to be private and confidential until it goes to court. There was investigating that needed to be done. My blood needed to be pulled. Was there arsenic in my system? What the fuck was making me sick? How much was in it? Enough to kill me? So some guy comes into to Sensations later, who did medical lab work. And I'm telling him, they were giving me drinks and it would make me sick, so I was pouring them out. So they actually had one guy tell me, if you drink arsenic, it will build up in your system and you'll get an immunity from it. And he looked at me and he goes, if he had somebody tell you that they wanted you to drink it voluntarily, they were definitely trying to kill you. Because I'm going to tell you something, that does not happen. You don't build up an immunity to it. It will build up in your liver and it will kill you dead. They wanted you to drink it voluntarily, thinking that it was going to do that so that you would die. They're trying to kill you. So who the fuck do you think you're fooling? You can't beat somebody to death and look like Mike Neely. You can't do it. Not a mark on him. Can't remember a fucking thing. The chemical composition in his body was such when he was found that it was unconscious. He had that much opioid in his system, it knocked him out. That's what Malucky was fighting with the person who did that to him. What did you give him? Stop it was to the offender. Mike was to him to see if he was okay. No one heard him at 8 o'clock when they first came to check on the loud. Lucky would not open the door. There's no cameras up there. They were in their street clothes, not the clothes getting ready to go to sleep. They weren't fighting. There is no such thing as an angry drunk who is completely quiet. Hotel John went at 8 o'clock. Lucky opened the door only enough for his face to be seen. And nobody heard from Mike. No angry drunk sits there quiet. Somebody's so angry they are about to beat someone else to death. And you can't beat someone else to death and have not a mark on you. And I was supposed to testify. And you bitch, you robbed this man of his future and his reputation by not letting me testify. Concealment of material facts is perjury. You suborned perjury. We'll get you on it if nobody else wants to do it. If no one else wants to step up and do the job right, TPD, we are doing it. What do you think this is for? I laughed when I said, is Monica dead? Because I know she's not, and this is ridiculous. It is that stupid. It is that ridiculous. The bullshit stories you think you're going to pass off. You think everybody's as dumb as you. This is the first time in your life you keep getting caught. And I wouldn't know to address this stuff, Richard, that you wanted my shoe print and you wanted trajectory and all that, if you weren't recorded talking about it. I didn't argue with people at work enough or even interact with people at work enough to get mad enough at anybody to want to kill anybody. If there's somebody I would want to kill, it would be Perry. He's fine, isn't he? Not a hair on his head is hurt, is it? 10 years, he has put me through an absolute hell. That's where the motive is, if I was that kind of person. He's fine, isn't he? Not a hair on his head hurt. Do I seem like the kind to do that? What I want is the death penalty. That I do want. I want it bad. Because this guy's a monster. He lives in Texas. I'm guessing he's for the death penalty himself. You know the guy, John Cooey, that killed little Jessica? That little girl was ripped from her bedroom in her house, where it's supposed to be safe. 7-year-old. Taken across the street, raped the shit out of her, and buried her alive in a garbage bag. She was found kneeling in a hole, buried alive, her little fingers poking through the garbage bag, trying to dig her way out, holding her little stuffed animal. So I'm sorry, but that guy, if he got the death penalty, John Cooey, it was kind. What if he had to die the way he made her die? So I'm for the death penalty. I am, in certain cases. And this is one. You killed a cop. You forever ruined that family's life. They will never be the same. And the Neely's is worse. I feel like it's almost worse. He didn't do it. I want him out of jail. I want him out of jail. I want him home with his family. He didn't do it. And that courtroom should have fucking been full of Oklahoma law enforcement backing him up. Where the fuck were y'all? Where the fuck were y'all? Because I'm pretty sure anybody can look at it. Listen, I talked to Marcus Harper for a little while. That man is smart. I can tell you he can look at Mike Neely and go, if he doesn't have anything on him, he couldn't have done this. So I told Marcus Harper right away, I don't think he did it. Something's up. I think Marcus was one of the first people I said he was drugged. He didn't do it. Where was Marcus? He's smart. I'm sure he could sure like that better than me. So where was he? Why weren't y'all in? Why were y'all not in that courtroom for him? I was there. I went without electricity and fucking food for a week because I was being punished, subjugated. It didn't work. It just pissed us all off. I'm not that kind of person. Not that kind of person at all. And I have help. And the guys helping me are not that kind of people either. You stop the crime, you stop the suffering. That's what you do. That's a job, right? Where were y'all TPD in Mike's case? Why weren't you in that courtroom supporting him? Full. That place should have been full of Oklahoma cops supporting his ass. And I'm very sad that that didn't happen. It should have. Very sad that I was the only one that stepped up for him. And I would do it again. Mr. Perry, you're not going to frame me for shit. You're about to go to prison. You got a lot more worse. You got a lot of bad things. Anything that I've done, not a drop in the bucket compared to you. You contact me, it pisses me off. I hate it. You peep and hack, I hate it. You piss me off. It is disgusting. There are guys talking about you behind your back all the time. Why does he not know he's a weirdo? Other guys don't do the shit you do because they would be too embarrassed. And you should be embarrassed too. Now, I'm sorry if I offended somebody when I giggled when I said, is Monica dead? I giggled because I don't think she is. And the whole thing is ridiculous. I think she's probably fine. And I don't even know who's dead. I don't know. I'm going to say the same thing Michael said. Who's dead? Who are you trying to frame me here with? You're caught, Perry. The more you fuck with me, the more caught you get. You don't ever get a date. You get caught and rejected and caught and rejected. You got heat on your whole organization. I'm sure they love you for that. You're a butt-in. You're a wannabe. You're never wanted. You're not fighting for a relationship with somebody that wants you. You are fighting for a lie, sir. Now, leave me the fuck alone. The way this guy thinks right here, the way the bacon guy thinks, that's how most men think, Perry. And they're embarrassed by you. You don't have no idea how many guys came into my work that you hired. And they said, I'm supposed to come in here and say XYZ or do XYZ. No fucking way. I'm not weirdo. No fucking way. What the hell did you get yourself into? You embarrass people. Your weirdo problem is a fucking embarrassment to everybody else. And everybody wonders why the fuck you're not embarrassed too. You should be. You are a disgust. Peeping is a crime and it's disgusting. You're a sicko. Hacking is a crime and you're a disgust. You're a sicko. So the next, anything else you do, I promise you, I'm going to use it to prove you're that. Creepster. Creepster. Stay the fuck away from my family. Stay the fuck away from my children. Stay the fuck away from Manford PD. Tulsa PD. Stay the fuck away from the police. TPD, are you on the take? Do you like the money they pay you? If that's the case, Perry, go for it. They like you. They like being on the take. Give them all the money they want. They'll let them cover up for you all they want. Because despite all that, all this time, if that's happening, we still catch you, don't we? Get the fuck off me. These guys right here are normal. That's the kind of people I like. Like this man right here. And the bacon. You don't fit into my world. Now, get the fuck out of my life and write this down because it's been very consistent since the McNamara email. When you fuck with me, when you contact me, when you cause loss for me, when you butt in, when you cause drama, you get told on. That's all that happens. You will never get a date with me. You got to be normal, sir, to ride this ride, and you can't do normal. You're stuck in weirdo land. All of you are. I'm not your slave. Whoever said that. If she's not going to mind, I'm going to get her credit card and cut it up. I heard the recording of you say that. Fuck you. I am not your bitch. I'm the farthest thing from that ever. I've heard you guys talking about that too. This one has more longevity than we've never seen anybody with this longevity. It's not longevity. It's that you have an imaginary world that we all laugh at. We laugh at you. We're catching your crime. That's the reality of this. That's what's happening here. So I don't know what the fuck you think you're doing. And that's what causes a giggle. You look that ridiculous to us. Nobody has caught your crime like we have. No one. When you fuck with me, you get caught. When you fuck with me, you get told on. And then I know that Richard wants my shoe print and to see my how tall I am with these shoes. The same shoes a gazillion people in Oklahoma have, or all over the country. They're sold at Walmart. They're like $9. So since I bought those shoes, I don't think I've been out there 3 times. I interact with people very little. I don't have a choice right now because you use everybody around me to gaslight me. Tell her this, tell her to think that. You people you shouldn't even know. My friends are sick and tired of you telling them when they can talk to me and what they're supposed to say, just so you know. So is my family. Get the fuck off me. You guys are just caught. That's it. You're just caught. Now, I'm going to tell you for the last time again. I want Michael Neely out of jail and back home with his family. I want Michael Neely out of jail and back home with his family. I want Michael Neely home with his family. Now, you make amends and you make this shit right with him, or you're going to wish you weren't born. I promise. In the legal means that we do, things are about to blow up on you. We're not putting up with it. You're breaking the law. You're pissing everybody off. I'm not your bitch. I don't mind anybody. I don't. I don't know what planet you fucking live on. You guys live in a pretend world, don't you? You sit around watching TV and that's your, pretend life. Oh my God. A 1-year-old little girl could do that. Is that the best? Is that your talent? That's your skill set? Is I watch TV and pretend? Every 1-year-old little girl does the same thing. Leave me the fuck alone. If you can't be like him, if you don't think like him, you don't belong anywhere near me. Now, I hope that clears up. Why did I giggle when I said, is Monica dead? I giggled because I'm pretty sure she's not. Pretty sure she's fine. And I didn't have a beef with her. She had one with me. And I dismissed it as she's a little immature. I'm 50, not 12. I do not act like that. I don't get all emotional about shit like that. And 20-year-old kids don't want to hang out with a 50-year-old lady. We're all nice to each other. We all work fine together. We didn't socialize. In 6 years, didn't socialize at all. Once in a while, I think I can count on one hand. I think twice, maybe 3 times. We all went to breakfast at IHOP at different club. One time at Sensation, I think once in Stillwater. That's it. Everybody went. Everybody ate breakfast, and everybody went home. There wasn't a lot of drama. There was more drama in Stillwater, but there wasn't hardly any drama in Sensations. Nobody has time. We didn't have time. If there was drama, I stayed as far away from it as I could get. I'm not 12. I'm 50. Not my thing. All right? Did we answer all the questions as motive to murder and doing a frame up and I need to get her shoe print and all that bullshit? If I know that you need my shoe print, Richard, that means you guys were recorded talking about why you need my shoe print. And it's not because I killed anybody. It's not. I keep to myself because I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. And nobody has caught this crime like me. And these guys helping me. And it's not TPD. Believe me, we wish it was. So when my guys do their thing, you're going to have to explain why the fuck you did nothing. You gave my police report right over to a domestic violence offender. That was against the law. I left it between you and God. Now you got other people questioning why the fuck did they do that to her? Shouldn't have. And then you let the obstruction of justice go. And I didn't get a test to show what the fuck was making me sick. Was it arsenic? Were they trying to kill me? Or were they just trying to mess with me? To this day, we don't know. We'll never know. Mr. Perry's famous for altering evidence. Mr. Neely didn't get tested when he's knocked out. He got tested at the hospital when he'd come to, and then Arcan had changed the chemical composition in his blood. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be an accurate reading. I want him out of jail. I want him out now. Don't you fucking fuck with me again. When you do, you get caught and you get told on, and you always have, and it's been that way since the McNamara email, and you're asking for it. I don't like you, Mr. Perry. I don't like you. You disgust me. Now, leave us alone and go to Lubbock and do your thing in Lubbock with your family and your friends and your people and stay the fuck away from me. You don't have a choice. You are breaking the law. You are making us sick at our stomach. Cut it the fuck out.